So hysteresis loss. So why this hysteresis loss? Due to magnetization and demagnetization. A cycle of magnetization and demagnetization in the material produces this loss. Hysteresis loss, we call it as energy loss. Called as energy loss. The another name is called energy loss. So changing the magnetization of ferromagnetic material results in specific losses. This is known as hysteresis loss. Okay, the material is magnetized. Okay, so I want to demagnetize the material. Okay, once the material is magnetized, I want to demagnetize the material. So want to demagnetize the material, you have to spend lot of energy. You have to spend lot of energy to demagnetize the material. So that's why changing the magnetization of ferromagnetic material. Changing the magnetization means magnetization to demagnetization. Results in specific losses. This loss is known as hysteresis loss. So the hysteresis loss is nothing but energy dissipated per cycle of magnetization. Energy dissipated per cycle of magnetization. That's why I'm writing that we call as EH. H means hysteresis loss. We write as energy loss, EH or WH. EH or WH. That is nothing but integral of over the closed path. You have to take the integral of summation of magnetic field and change in the magnetization. You have to take the product of magnetic field times change in the magnetization. I have to integrate. That gives the energy dissipated per cycle per unit volume. Okay, so that integration of the part gives the area of the BH curve. So energy loss is nothing but the area of BH curve. So this is the BH curve, this is the area. Okay, this is initial magnetization, this is more like that you are getting. So this is the area. See the area. So the energy dissipated per cycle of magnetization is calculated as area of the BH curve. This area represents how much energy dissipated per cycle of magnetization. Okay, its units is joule per meter cube. The dissipated energy. The dissipated energy is dissipated in the form of heat. The energy is dissipated in the form of heat. So WH is equal integral closed integral product of HdB. The area within the hysteresis curve represents magnetic energy loss. The area within the hysteresis loop represents the area within a hysteresis loop represents a magnetic energy loss per unit volume of the material per magnetization, demagnetization of the cycle. So this quadrant 1 is magnetization, quadrant 3 is magnetization, quadrant 2 is demagnetization, quadrant 4. So this is the cycle. So this of cycle, the area within this loop, this is the area within the loop, represents magnetic energy loss per unit volume of material per magnetization, demagnetization. The difference of the energy is lost as heat in the material. The hysteresis behavior is related to the ease with which the magnetic domain boundaries move. The hysteresis behavior is related to the ease with which the magnetic domains will move. Okay. From this behavior, we can explain how easily the magnetic domain boundaries are moving. So remember, what is the area of the loop? The area of the loop represents energy loss. More is the area of the loop, more is the energy loss. Less is the area of the loop, less is the energy loss. This is for normal loop. There are different type of loops. Different materials exhibit different type of loops. We will show at the end what are the different types of materials exhibit different types of hysteresis loop. So less is the area of loop, less is the energy loss. More is the area of the loop, more is the energy loss. Next, based on this area of the loop, see the area, the word I'm using called area. Based on the area of the loop, the magnetic materials are classified into two types. we call as soft magnetic materials, we call as hard magnetic materials. So based on the area of the loop, based on the area, basing on the area of the hysteresis loop, these magnetic materials are broadly classified into two types: soft magnetic materials, hard magnetic materials. How they classified? Based on area. They are considered pure metals. So ferromagnetic materials are metals, iron, nickel, cobalt. What is the meaning of alloy? Combination of metals we called as alloy. They prepared some materials and see as they considered the area and they classified into two based on the area of the hysteresis loop by considering metals and ceramics. Ceramics means ferrites. Ferrites comes under ceramics. Metals and alloys. What is the meaning of alloy? Mixture of metals is known as alloy. Pure metals and mixture of metals alloy. And they consider the other one is called ceramic. Ceramics means ferrites. Ferrites comes under ceramic. So based on the studies, they see the area. Based on the area, they classified into soft magnetic materials and hard magnetic materials. So we see the difference between soft magnetic materials and hard magnetic materials. So soft magnetic materials, so these are the materials which can be easily magnetized and demagnetized. Okay, so there are four quadrants are there. In the four quadrants, the first quadrant is called magnetization, the second quadrant is called demagnetization. This is the first quadrant, this is second quadrant, and this is third quadrant, and this is fourth quadrant. This is so these soft magnetic materials easily magnetize and easily demagnetize. Okay, that's why they are said to be soft magnetic materials. So the materials which are easily magnetized and easily demagnetized, they are known as soft magnetic materials. Materials which cannot be easily demagnetized, they are called as hard magnetic materials. Okay, once it is magnetized, we have to spend lot of energy to demagnetize. That's why they called as hard magnetic materials. Which are easily magnetized and demagnetized are known as soft magnetic materials. Which cannot be easily demagnetized are known as hard magnetic materials. That's the first difference. Second difference is permeability. Permeability and susceptibility are very high for the materials. Even it is soft or hard magnetic materials, the permeabilities are very high. Why? Due to parallel alignment of dipoles in that materials. Parallel alignment and orderly alignment of dipoles in the material, the soft as well as hard magnetic materials both shows the higher permeability. Okay, for small fields there is higher permeability, means ability of the material to allow lines of force to pass through it is known as high permeability. So they have high permeability and susceptibility due to parallel alignment of dipoles in the material. They exhibit low hysteresis energy loss due to thin loop area. The soft magnetic materials always exhibit thin loop area. This is a loop area. See, this is thin loop area. So this loop area is very, very thin. We call it as narrow. This is called narrow or thin loop area. So the soft magnetic materials have low hysteresis energy loss due to thin or narrow loop area. Loop area is very, very less for these materials. For hard magnetic materials, high hysteresis loss due to large loop area. So this loop area is very, very high. So for these materials. So what type of material is hard magnetic materials? Hard magnetic materials, the loop area is very, very high. So loop area is high, energy dissipation is also high. So this loop area is very, very high. This loop area is narrow here. This loop area is very high. So they exhibit large hysteresis loss due to large loop area. What I said, less is the loop area, less is the energy dissipation. More is the loop area, more is the energy dissipation. So energy dissipation is nothing but loss. Energy dissipation is nothing but loss. So low thin loop area, low loss. High large loop area, large hysteresis loss. And see the corrosivity. Corrosivity value is also very less for these materials. Corrosivity is also less. See the corrosivity. The fourth difference is corrosivity value. What is the meaning of corrosivity? The negative magnetic field at which the magnetization of the material becomes zero is known as corrosivity. For the soft magnetic materials, the corrosivity value is very, very less. That is H less than 10 ampere per meter square. HC. The corrosivity value is always less than 10 ampere. If you apply around 9-10 ampere per meter square, it loses its, the magnetization of the material completely becomes zero. If you draw a graph, this one, so this is initial magnetization and this is demagnetization. So like that. Okay, this is the field HC. Its value is very, very low value of corrosivity. So these materials have high value of corrosivity, retentivity or remanence. So high value of corrosivity these materials have. That high corrosivity is always greater than 100 ampere per meter square. Next, fifth difference is soft magnetic materials must be free of structural defects. Structural defects is there. If structural defects are more, then the corrosivity value increases. That's why the soft magnetic materials must be free of structural defects. What I said, structural defects, impurities, grain boundaries, dislocations, this all comes under structural defects. Structural defects also impact the magnetization of the material. That's why the soft magnetic materials must be free of structural defects. But if you consider hard magnetic materials, they have impurities. Okay, so the defects are nothing but impurities. So if you take iron, all the elements should be iron. Some other element will come in there, that is impurity. Vacancy. Vacancy means there is no existence of iron atom. Grain boundary, some crystallines are there. They have the impact on the energy loss. So hard magnetic materials have impurities. Next, eddy currents contributes to energy loss. The sixth difference is eddy currents. So eddy currents contribute to energy loss. So what is the meaning of eddy current? Eddy current means your iron is a metallic element. Okay, metals are good conductors of electricity. When you place these metallic metals, when you place these metals in magnetic fields, what happens? According to Lenz's law, a change in magnetic flux creates current in the metal. Due to that current we call it as eddy current. If you take iron is a metal, which is a good conductor of electricity. When you place this iron in the magnetic field, okay, the change in magnetic field creates current in the metal. That current we call as eddy current. We are placing this iron in a magnetic field. A change in magnetic field produces current in the material. That current called as eddy current. So due to that eddy current contributes to energy loss. Eddy currents are also factor for energy losses. Okay. So due to that current, it develops its own magnetic field. So eddy currents contributes to energy loss. Therefore, eddy current loss is more. Okay, we are getting the energy loss due to magnetization, demagnetization. So demagnetization means the domains doesn't come back to the original position. You have to spend more energy to bring back the domains to original position. That is one contribution for energy loss. There is another contribution for energy loss is eddy currents. What is eddy currents? When metals are placed in alternating fields, okay, the alternating field produces EMF in the metal. That EMF produces its own magnetic field. That magnetic field opposes the applied magnetic field. That's why called as Lenz's law. Okay, so these eddy currents contribute to energy loss. Therefore, eddy current loss is more. Eddy current losses is more. So here also eddy current losses is more. So how to avoid this eddy current loss? Increasing the electrical resistivity of material. You have to increase the resistivity of the material. Resistivity you have to increase. Iron is a good conductor of electricity, which has high thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity. So when the resistivity increases, conductivity decreases, current decreases. That's why increasing the electrical resistivity of the material can reduce the eddy current losses. You have to increase the electrical resistivity, then the eddy current losses will be reduced. So that's why what I am doing, take iron and add few percentage of silicon to iron. Add a few percentage of silicon to iron. The silicon increases the electrical resistivity and eddy current losses will be reduced. So increasing the electrical resistivity, the eddy current losses can be reduced. What you have to do? Take iron and add few percent of silicon to this one. Next, soft magnetic materials. What are the applications of these materials? What are the applications? Soft magnetic materials are used in wide variety of electrical machines. So we are using these soft magnetic materials in electrical machines. Electrical machines means power transformers, motors, generators, electromagnets. We use this one. In with these missions we use soft magnetic materials. Transformer, we have output transformer. In transformer we use voltage, current, frequency, motors, generators, electromagnets. So they use soft magnetic materials. Hard magnetic materials are used to make permanent magnets. So they are used to make permanent magnets. Example, loudspeakers, magnetic tapes and disk, like hard disk. Your computer having hard disk, that hard disk stores a lot of energy. Hard disk stores a lot of energy. That is magnetic tapes and hard disk. CD, read and write. You heard about CD. Okay, compact disk, that is a form of read and write. So read and write means data storage. You can have read. You can, what is the data that is available? That is stored in the form of magnets. That you can read the data, and again you can rewrite the data. Read and write. So loudspeakers in all music devices, audio, video signaling, we use loudspeakers. Those loudspeakers are permanent magnets which are made of hard magnetic materials. Computer industries, we use lot of hard magnetic materials for their energy storage. So a lot of data they are storing, energy storage. Telephone rings, we have the speaker is there, transformer, receiver, we use magnet, toys, relays, they always. So where we have, when we have to prepare a permanent magnet, you have to choose a hard magnetic materials. So for electromagnets, we use soft magnetic materials. Motor, generators, electromagnets, we use soft magnetic materials. So what type of materials we are using? We are saying soft, hard. So what are those names of the materials? So we see this one. What are the names of the materials? So these cores of rotating electrical machines are made of soft magnetic materials. Cores of rotating electrical machines is made of soft magnetic materials. What is the soft magnetic material? Carbon steel. Low carbon steel. Steel is an alloy. Okay, low carbon steel. So low carbon means carbon is 0.05%. Steel is an alloy. A mixture of iron, cobalt, nickel, you get steel. So 0.05% percentage of carbon to the steel. Okay, So that is the core of rotating electrical machines. The core electrical machines have some core elements, core magnetic materials. Those core magnetic materials are called soft magnetic material. Examples is low carbon steel. 0.05% low carbon steel is using. Iron plus 3 to 4% silicon. Iron is Fe. To the iron, what I am adding? 3 to 4% silicon. So if you take a mixture of metals, we call it as alloy. That's called iron silicon alloy. Silicon, how much percent you have to take? 3 to 4%. Why I'm adding silicon? To increase the resistivity. To increase the resistivity of the material. When the resistivity increases, eddy current losses decreases. That's why I'm adding iron of 3 to 4%. 3 to 4% silicon to the iron, that it become iron silicon alloy and used as a core for electrical machines. Nickel iron alloy. Mu metal. Mu metal means 77% is iron, 16% is iron, 5% is copper, 2% is chromium. So I'm using this mixture called Mu metal. Mu metal. So 77% iron, 16% iron, 5% copper, 2% chromium. Another one is supreme alloy. Supreme alloy. Another one is called permanent alloy. What is alloy? Mixture of metals is known as alloy. Where you use the supreme alloy and permanent alloy? For high permeabilities. We need material. We need generators with high permeabilities. We use this supreme alloy and permanent alloy where there is 10 power 5 like 10 power 6 permeability. The permeability in the range of 10 power 5, 10 power 6. Next, these are the cores of rotating electric machines. These are the materials used in rotating electrical machines. Cores. In core of that electrical machines, we use this type of materials. Okay, this type of materials. Low carbon steel. Carbon is how much? 0.05% of carbon added to steel. Next, to iron, 3 to 4% of silicon alloy is added. Why silicon is added? To increase the electrical resistivity and to reduce the eddy current loss. Nickel iron alloy, Mu metal, supreme alloy, permanent alloy. These are the used for high permeabilities. Next, for soft ferrites are used. Soft ferrites we use. Soft ferrites mean data storage. So like memory card in your phone, you are using memory card for storage of your data. So soft ferrites we use. So that is manganese zinc ferrite, nickel zinc ferrite. So in this manganese zinc and nickel zinc ferrites are used as high frequency transducers. High frequency transducers. Next, rectangular hysteresis loop used for memory devices in computers as information storage. Rectangular hysteresis loop for memory storage devices in information. Okay. So see, this is the loop area. So this is loop area for soft magnetic materials. This is a loop area for hard magnetic materials. See here, retentivity is very high and corrosivity is also high. For hard magnetic materials, these values are very, very high. See, for soft magnetic materials, this value is low corrosivity, high corrosivity. So large is the area of the loop, less is the area of the loop. Okay, this energy is lost. Less is the loop area, less is the energy loss. More is the loop area, more is the energy. This is a hard magnetic material, these are soft magnetic. So what are the examples for these hard magnetic materials? So where you use loudspeaker, magnetic, all this. So alnico. So alnico is example of alloy. Alnico alloy, tungsten steel alloy, chromium steel alloy, platinum, cobalt, alloy. These are the alloys used for making permanent magnets in computer industry, telephone, magnetic tapes, disk, hard disk. You heard about hard disk in your computer. The hard disk in computer is made of Alnico alloy. Alnico. Alnico is a magnetic storage device to use permanent magnets. Hard ferrites also, barium ferrite and strontium ferrite. So this also comes under magnetic storage devices. This for useful for permanent magnets. This will useful for preparation of permanent magnets, and this useful for magnetic storage devices. Magnetic storage devices. So a hard disk, all this made of. This for making for permanent magnets. These are useful for permanent magnets. These are useful for magnetic storage. And this is the area of the loop. So these two diagrams, low hysteresis loop, high hysteresis loop.